Good evening. Testing 1 2. Yeah, that sounds okay. Am I a little loud? I need to turn myself down. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. It should be fine. Okay. This game is so loud on my end. Anyway, good evening. I've been talking for a little while about doing a Pokedex completion, like it's the challenge. Gotta catch them all. Because I've never done it, obviously, and I thought it would be fun because I've been wanting to get back to Pokemon for a good minute now. But watching some videos on people doing it has been like the last push I needed to try it myself. But I mean, first and foremost, we had to play through the game. So that's when we're starting now. I've been working to get like the counter and things set up, and to get these. I think I want to like save the playthrough on YouTube. So I'm also recording this, but it'll still be like a normal stream, and I've got stuff to talk about later to pass the time. Old Pokemon Professor Oak, yeah, his name is Oak. Oh, the Pokemon Professor. Now, I have played Pokemon Yellow, but I didn't beat it. I think I got like maybe 3 badges in. I remember liking it because I really liked the anime growing up and when I got into Pokemon, but I didn't like think it was like categorically better than Red and Blue. I do remember the sprites being quite nice though. And they kind of just sprinkled in some jokes and references and characters from the anime. But I kind of like Gen 1 for its... what's the word? Purity? Now I was going to... for the main games, I'm also playing the main pair of games on my own time. And then I thought, well, I might as well play the third version because A, I haven't played a lot of them or beat them like with Yellow. And B, that's the best one. Like the most, you know, amount of things to do, so I'll have plenty to, like, post-game wise. I didn't think about a rival name. I think I'll just keep it Gary, I suppose. I'll go with Gary, why not? And, you know, usually the third versions have the most Pokemon in them. So it'll be like a good base to start off with for the Pokédex. Time to go. I believe you have a potion. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty familiar with Pokemon. I got into the series in 2016. Maybe a little earlier than that, actually. That's when I start the games at the least. But I actually don't know how. I think my best friend at the time was into Pokemon. I guess I just... like, I was aware of it, obviously, through Super Smash Bros. And I always love this, by the way. I don't want to skip over this. I won't be so in-depth with the game as we go on, but this movie on TV, 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. Better go to some self-reflection, and it's very melancholic, along with the music and the idea of, like, going on this adventure and leaving home, you know. And looking for you, okay. It hits a bit harder because it's not like other RPGs where you kind of have to leave home for some cosmic purpose. You're old enough now that you need to pursue your life, you know. It's of your journey away. Now, I was watching another streamer play this recently, and he was commenting on how the different town names are different colors, and he noted that Pallet Town was kind of an outlier. And it's one of those things where, like, it's so common knowledge to you that it's kind of crazy to think that to another person it would be foreign. But I thought everyone knew that Pallet Town was like a blank palette that you would then color with your experiences, or in this case, the towns. I don't know, it's just so interesting that someone may not be aware of that. Incredible, you can also data via PC. Pokemon Research Lab. But yeah, my best friend was into, I think, I knew because of Super Smash Bros. We also had Pokemon Snap growing up. That was like one of the few childhood games we had. And that was like my first Pokemon experience, which is a great game. But I never played the games proper. So me getting really enamored with it at that time was quite a big deal. It felt brand new, even though I was vaguely familiar with some of the Pokemon. it felt all new. This OST is amazing as well. Probably my favorite on the Game Boy. Okay. That's Gary's house. But yeah, for the main versions, this is a new song. I've not heard this. I'm using the, like, their canonical names for the characters. And then I was thinking about, you know, I would use the anime names for Yellow, and then Chris for Crystal, because that's the first female. But then I was thinking, well, I would just end up using the canonical names for both if I just use the female versions once the women get introduced, you know. And that's not as fun. So, plus, I think at the end I'll probably screenshot the diploma that you get, and I would like my name or my username on there so I could, like, hang it up somewhere, and they'll say my name. I think that was my final consideration that I decided to go with that. And it's because I'm streaming it too, it makes more sense. That is some crazy luck that he got that with the regular Pokeball. I don't know if you guys ever caught the Pikachu in Viridian Forest. That thing, you can get lucky and then you can get really unlucky. On my red playthrough that I started recently, I think I caught one, but I was there for like a good hour 15. I feel like you'll meet one early on, but I didn't have enough Pokeballs, or I didn't have Pokeballs or whatnot. And then coming back for one was what really did me in. Take it. It's so weird not having all three there. There's nothing important. Ready to take on all comers. Where is the trainer Pokemon on the HQ Indigo Plateau? Okay. I like how you're given like two main objectives at the start: is become the champion as well as complete the Pokedex. You give a nickname to Pikachu? Nah, it's Pikachu. I think I nicknamed mine Chew, like with a ton of U's. In the anime, Ash wakes up late. So everyone's got a Pokemon except him. And Pikachu's just like in the reserves. He's like, well, I mean, I had this Pokemon. I wasn't planning on giving it away, but you might as well just take this one. And it kind of implies that he has multiple of the 3 starters. But, you know, everyone, it's kind of cool. Like, everyone, even though everyone's birthday isn't around the same time, it's like this generation of kids all leave at the same day this year. It's kind of neat. Now I hear that Gary will evolve his Eevee later on based on whether you win or lose this fight. Oh, does that happen every time? There's the compressed Pikachu screams are so funny to me. Jeez. Let's see if we can paralyze maybe. I believe Thundershock has the like, side effect that it can paralyze. I could be wrong. I'm kinda screwed. Oh, okay. He actually took it. Good job, Pikachu. I remember a lot of people are like, why are we getting Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? Like, Eevee's such a weird choice. At that point, I had already touched this game, so I'm like, I knew. It was just kind of funny that a lot of people were unaware that your rival has an Eevee in Pokemon Yellow. A lot of people didn't realize that was a remake of Yellow specifically, and not Red and Blue. It's interesting, but it's also weird because they made two versions of the one game. Dude, so I'm gonna be a brat most of the time. There's some cool interactions though, and it's just cool to have Pokemon follow you. So it's neat. I think we're good to go. We come back later, I think, for the Pokedex. But I guess we can add Pikachu. That's our first Pokemon. Thank you. Such a great tune. Almost every track in this game is like really catchy and just pleasant to listen to. Won't be a while till we get Pokeballs though, which is okay. There's quite a bit of grinding for Brock that's gonna happen. I'll have plenty of time to catch Pokemon then on these first few routes. If we can get that done all today, I'll be happy, because that's kind of the ball gets rolling after you're able to overcome Brock, in my opinion. Actually, we'll wait to go in there till I need to go in there. Yeah, I'm good. I know what you're gonna say. And need to filled Pokemon. Wonder what he got. It's kind of interesting that don't know how long it took for them to, like, Pokemon Yellow to come out. I just think it's interesting that this was Game Boy Color enhanced, but the first two were not, and it could just be because the first two came out in '96 in Japan, but they didn't bother to add that along with the translation in '98. I actually don't know when the color came out, but I would imagine it was out by '98. And the reason I'm playing two versions is so whatever Pokemon I miss, I'll be able to trade over. I'll also be able to get both fossils as well as I should be able to get my save. From what I hear, you can save swap between red and blue. So that will cover pretty much all three versions, and I can get pretty much every Pokemon. But I'll see. I'm trying to do this legitimate. I mean, as legitimate as I can. Obviously, I can't go to a distribution event and get a Mew anymore. But I'm gonna get every other Pokemon as best I can. I have a plan for Mew. I found a save. Somebody backed up their save with a legitimate event Mew from back in the day, and then I'll just load that up in an emulator along with my save and then trade it over and then put it back on my cartridge. And everything else is in-game, thankfully. As the generations go on, granted I am able to finish this and I'm able to continue on with the games, I will be able to it would be a lot harder with the increase of like mythical Pokemon and such in timed events. Now usually I'll see both. When I see people do these Pokedex challenges, they'll have like Pokemon seen and Pokemon caught, but I felt like I didn't need all of that. You know, the seen and caught. To me, that's easy to get confused with. It just seems like more work for a little reason. That's crazy. I don't think he has a sister in the anime. At least we don't see her, as far as I'm aware. I think the aid will give you something here. No. Must be thinking of Gen 2. Pokédex. Yeah, owned. And, I mean, there's a counter here as well. I'm not too fussed. Mouse. It keeps its tail raised to monitor its surrounding. If you yank its tail, it will try to bite you. You can't catch any other Pikachu in this game. You only get the one. So I'll have to trade over a Raichu at some point. Let's go ahead and save. Why not? I didn't replace the battery on this cartridge. It was already replaced. I'm a little weary because I don't know when that was done. But I'm sure it'll last. Okay. But yeah, I started the anime around that time. Around that time, X and Y were coming out. Yeah, so it was definitely before 2016. It's probably closer to like 2013. Maybe that's when I was thinking of. Yeah, I think I was about, yeah. That sounds about right. Because X and Y were coming out, so I was watching the X and Y anime, and then they had Diamond and Pearl around that time on Cartoon Network. Yeah, on Boomerang, they had Diamond and Pearl playing. And then I was also watching the original series because that box set had just come out. So I was getting that from my library, as well as that was also airing on Boomerang, I think, because that's like almost always on the first season. So I got pretty heavy into that, as well as the manga. That was like one of my first manga that I ever read, was Pokemon Adventures, which is also my favorite to this day. It's incredible. And then around that time, I think I got a phone, and then I dabbled into emulation, and then I started with these because it's like I'm already starting with Gen 1 with everything else. Might as well start with the first games. I was only probably able to emulate the first 3 anyway. So I kind of started, even though it was in like 2013, like almost, what, like 25 years? Well, not 25. That's probably closer to what? Maybe like 20 years? No, that doesn't seem right. 15 years, yeah. Sorry. Away from, the original, but I was pretty much experiencing it as if it was that time period. But I started with Blue. I had a hacked version of Pokemon Blue. The starters were Machop, Vulpix, and Poliwag, and that's kind of a big reason as to why Poliwag is my favorite Pokemon. Surprise, because it's my starter. I think everything else about the game was pretty much the same. It was kind of glitchy because, you know, they messed with some stuff, so eventually there was a couple missing notes coming to the end of the game, but otherwise it was an amazing experience. Oh wow, they changed it to Nurse Joy and a Chansey. I guess I don't need anything at the moment. But what does the Professor's PC do? A Pokedex rating? Shouldn't be anything at the moment. So do look for Pokemon in grassy areas. That's good. We start with that and then we'll end when we finish it all and see what he says. I don't know if I can buy Pokeballs yet. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and buy. Might as well spend the bulk of my money. So early on it's easy to black out, and then every time you black out I believe you lose half of your money, which can get eaten up very quickly. I'm still learning some of the type advantages and disadvantages. What's your problem? Eternally Green Paradise. There should be some, some Nidorans over here. There's a rival battle, so we're not gonna go too far because he's pretty leveled up and I am not. Rattata. I don't know, level 3 Rattata. I wonder how... I'm always curious to see how people say this Pokemon's name. I don't know if I'm gonna get a level 3. That seems a little low. I feel like I can at least find like a level 5 or so to start off with. Maybe after the Viridian Forest. I think there's like maybe a patch or two before you get to Pewter. Speaking of, yeah, I'm gonna try to catch this one. I've never been one to use Nidorans. I know people... This is kind of like that early route Pokemon that people, oh man, usually keep for the whole game. But it's never been something that, like, they'll evolve once and then I usually will cycle them out. I guess I should state that I actually don't... Mankey? Is that a yellow exclusive? I'm gonna have to try to catch that. Nice. I guess I should say that the way I play Pokemon is not the same way I see a lot of people play Pokemon online. That I found out years later that people like will make a permanent team for the whole game, and I guess it makes sense. I've been thinking about it. I guess it makes sense because all the NPCs do that, right? They're like your rival. Like they just keep a few Pokemon, like a core Pokemon that they have throughout the game, although your rival will trade out here and there. An agile Pokemon that lives in trees, it angers easily and will not hesitate to attack anything. Pig Monkey. I believe Mankey might be a fighting type, but that's our second Pokemon. Mankey, I'm not gonna give a nickname unless like I have a viewer that wants to give a nickname. I don't mind, at least, you know, especially for the common Pokemon, but at the moment I don't have anything in mind. And it's gonna help with the Pokedex, because when we start using the PC, to just have the normal names, it'll be easier. I think this game looks quite nice as well. First couple for like brand new games on the Game Boy, this late in its life, I think they did an incredible job, you know, especially stuffing all this stuff in here. But I guess that goes hand in hand with what I was going to say about how I play these games, because with a concept such as Pokemon, where you have hundreds of Pokemon in every game, the idea of limiting myself to 6 was very weird to me at first, and to a degree it still is to this day. A mild-mannered Pokemon that does not like to fight. Beware its small horns secrete venom. And that's going to be our third Pokemon. No, not right now. As well as when they evolve, their names will change. It'll all help down the line. I'm not looking too good on health. I believe... Oh, nice. I believe that Pikachu has the first ever implementation of the friendship system, so I do need to keep him happy, because I think that's how you get Bulbasaur later. But besides that, that might be the only thing. Other than, it's nice to see him happy, you know? I'm gonna see if I can get him Nidoran male. If they're even there, if they swapped them out for Mankeys, I don't know. But other than that, and I'll probably pick up a Kakuna, or, you know, whatever I can find in the Viridian Forest. Metapod, hopefully. Or if I can just get the worms, that'll be okay too. Yeah, Mankey's fighting type. I always thought he's normal. Scratch on Leer. Who knows when he'll get a fighting move though. I don't know if it'll be before Brock or what. This guy's level 3, the other one was level 4. I thought he was higher. But yeah, I usually I used to, and lately I've been kind of changing it up a bit. Closer to what the rival does, where he'll have a few main Pokemon, but he'll switch them out, like, regularly. But I used to just use whatever I found and I'll train them up and kind of experiment. And then later on, I would, especially when I started playing the second versions, or already knew the games, I would prepare myself for whatever gym leader came next by creating pretty much a full team that would counter. But it gets a little, maybe not boring, but it's kind of like the opposite problem, where instead of having to fully static team at all times, it's like a fully sort of one note team, because you only have like 1 or 2 types that are just there to react to whatever's coming up next. And then at the end of the game, I'll take the strongest Pokemon from each of those gym, those gym badges, and then I'll just create a team that I'll counter the Elite Four, and then I'll win with that. It does require quite a bit of grinding in between, especially if you're below level. But you know, I don't mind. I enjoy grinding in general, and you know, Pokemon is such like rewarding game to grind in, you know, with like evolutions and such. I've never minded at all. This is good to chill out with this game. I'm a little tired today. I went to dual stream on YouTube because, like I said, I want to get this up on YouTube as well. But it said to wait 24 hours for who knows what reason. Maybe it's because it's my first time. It wouldn't tell me the reason. Maybe it's because it's my first time trying to stream on there. But I'll probably start streaming on there. And then just save the VODs there. I think that'll be good. And maybe, I don't know, maybe edit them down from YouTube. I'm not sure. I feel like I would lose quite a bit of quality, but we'll see. I'm not keen to spend time on thumbnails, you know. Nice. Hero kind of rare. I wouldn't mind having him for Brock, but the problem is I don't want to train up a level 2 Spearow. I feel like I can find one later on that's like higher level, if that makes sense. I've been trying to do that lately because like I've been playing Red Out. I've also been playing Silver lately because my Red had a dead battery, so I started Silver. And in Silver's case, I've noticed that like I'll train up a Pokemon from like level 3 to like 9, and then like after the first or second gym I'll go into Wild Grass and I'll see that same Pokemon that's like level 10 or 11. It's like I spent all this time I really shouldn't have. Granted, they do help me with the first couple gyms, so it's I guess it's a bit of a trade-off, but I might catch this guy. He's level 4. Peck's not gonna do anything against Brock's Pokemon. Nice. Tiny bird. Inept at flying high, however, it can fly around very fast to protect its territory. And that's Pokemon 4. And there's still Pidgeys and Rattatas around as well. Oh. It must be pretty low in terms of catch rate. Now, I don't know if there are Nidorans later on in the game. I don't remember these games that well to know that. So I'm just gonna catch this guy. I don't know if I'll use him. I might just use the Nidoran female that I have, and then the male will come at a later time. In terms of training him up. Solid ears are always kept upright. If it senses danger, it will attack with a poisonous sting. And that's Pokemon number 5. I didn't think we'd get so many so early on. I do have some old nicknames from my very first playthrough that I still employ from time to time, but that won't be that won't be here unless perhaps like when I go on to Gen 2 and I'm catching Gen Pokemon, I'll nickname them. Some of those old nicknames that I still carry on. The Eternally Green Paradise. Oh yeah, we read this. And this is the school. Very. That's the type of nicknames that I'm talking about. If there's anything on. No. That's required. I don't think that was required in Red and Blue. What was funny, I didn't look at it. I didn't go up high enough. But him like laying down on the ground is one of the funniest things. I don't know why. It's always gets to me. I went quick. I guess I'm already. I haven't like spoiled anything yet, but obviously, you know, I'll be talking about this story since I've already played this game. So spoiler alert. But the plot twist of who the Viridian City gym leader was incredible. Because you're starting off with this series and you expect the most generic and basic story out there, and I'm not saying that the story is like some masterpiece or anything, but I thought it was very captivating for this introduction to this brand new world. I thought it was really well done. Viridian Forest. The good news is I won't have to grind for a Pikachu here, so I should be able to just pass through normally. Okay, yeah, we do have some trails up here. I don't know if there's any good Pokemon up here. I believe Gary's Pokemon are like close to level 10 in that first rival battle. Over there. I guess that's rival battle 2. And I think that's optional, but I would like to get it for experience, obviously, but I don't know if we're going to be able to train up that much. I don't know when that rival battle becomes no longer obtainable. Like, is it after Brock? Who knows? But before we leave this region, we'll be sure to go over there and find his general region. So I'm going to pass on Pidgeys for now. Dang. Well, I will play like I always do for the most part. Maybe I'll do a dedicated team, I don't know. That seems not only boring but too easy. But I'm sure I'll rely more on Pokemon that I train up in this playthrough just because we're kind of going to fly through it just so we can get to the Pokemon we need and not so much the game itself. Now do I catch this Rattata? I think at least like a level like 7 for this and for Pidgey, which we probably won't see for a minute. Get the wrong Pokemon out front. In terms of XP. I've got a Super Game Boy for Gen 1 because it gives it color palettes. No disrespect for the black and white and the green, but I first played these games with Super Game Boy palettes, and that's kind of what I expect, and it looks great, obviously. That and a few other games, but I had totally forgotten that for Pokemon Stadium, which we will be using here and there, I think. I don't know if you can evolve Pokemon in there, but that'll probably be my grinding place after I beat the main game. Nice. The N64 jumper pack, or transfer pack, I believe it's called, that reads Game Boy cartridges for Pokemon, as well as Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, I believe. I don't know what else there was. Mickey Speedway USA, I think. Probably a couple. Oh, Perfect Dark Conquer, I think. Maybe a couple more. I totally forgot that you can use that to play the main games on your TV. So, like, a big part of the reason for me buying a Super Game Boy is kind of nullified because I'm going to get a transfer pack at some point for Pokemon Stadium. Looks like I did really need one because it already exists in another form for cheaper, and you get the pallets. Plus it has a speed up option, so I might use those later on when I get the option 2, but that will probably just be for like Pokemon Red grinding, because Yellow here already has a Game Boy Color palette, like I said, and I'm using the Game Boy Player right now. I don't know if you can use this on Stadium. I don't know which games are compatible with Stadium. I just love Spearo's cry. Excuse me. Not a big fan of that Rattata sprite. I heard like Rattata. You know, Rattata, like I say. There's probably a few more I'm not even thinking of. Dun 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 dun. Of course, a level 6. I'm tempted to catch this guy. But it's fine. Like, what? How long is this game? I think I put over like 100 hours the first time I played it. I see people play them now on YouTube videos and they'll be on like 30 hours, 20, 30 hours. Let's say it takes me like 40. 40 hours from now, 4 levels is not gonna matter, you know? Dun, 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 dun. Leer was like the hardest thing to me back in the day. Like, I don't know, you don't hear the word leer a lot. That was the first time I heard that word playing this game. And the attack animation with the sound effect and the kind of foreboding name, it like, I don't know, it really hit for me. Okay, I'm gonna catch this Pidgey. I did say level 7, didn't I? Did that take 3 HP? Oh. And it will look nicer, cleaner on the Game Boy player than it will on my SNES or my N64. Because apparently SNES all but a few revisions have like a blur to their processing chips. It still looks quite decent, especially with the settings I have on my upscaler, but you can kind of tell it looks kind of old-ish, I guess. Not as clean. Tiny bird, very docile. If attacked, it will often kick up sand to protect itself rather than fight back. Yeah, that's another Pokemon. That's 6. I don't know if we can get to 10 before the end of the stream. I don't know how long it's going to go. End of the session, I will say. That would be a nice start. I know we have Caterpie and Weedle coming up, although I think they might have taken out Weedles, I heard, to make the game easier. But we'll see. Is that a mouth on your player sprite? I never thought that he had a mouth. That little green pixel at the bottom of his thing. I don't know. I thought it was just. I don't think I've ever noticed that, but maybe he's supposed to have his mouth open. A bit weird if so, quite honestly. I think he works better with looking kind of like a mute. I guess that could be his lips. I believe they changed the officers to look like Officer Jenny's as well, which was, it's a cute touch. We need to level up this Mankey. That's our top priority. I will grind one more time. Basically just grind until everyone's kind of low health and or fainted. On this patch up here, and then I will go into Viridian Forest. I have to make a mental note to come up to this patch from now on instead of going to the Victory Road one, because they seem to be higher level on this one on average. I usually go to that Victory Road one for some, like the Nidorans and stuff, because there's more unique Pokemon there. But this seems to be the same pool here. Dang, did I not get... Dang. Pay attention with Mankey. I think this is a very nice sprite. I think it's very well done, this Nidoran sprite. I didn't mean to switch to Pikachu. I'm very tired. Just that time of day, I suppose. Dang it. Feels like these Pidgeys have extra attacks, but I think I'm just not paying attention to whose turn it is and such. I decided to do regional Pokedex instead of national because usually national is referring to every Pokemon ever made that you can get in a game. And the regional is just what's in that specific region. That's usually your first hurdle before the national, but since there's nothing like that yet, no distinction, I'll just keep it as regional for this time, and then eventually when we play Gen 2, I'll have a national counter as well. And I'm gonna use it. I believe you can switch your attacks around mid-battle. Yeah, there we go. It's always good. Actually, that might be the only way you can do it. I don't know if you can do it on the stat screen. But I just like to keep the attacks up front so I can just grind like that. Just spam the button. I haven't caught a Rattata yet, but I've caught everything else, I believe, that we've seen so far. I have the Wisdom Teeth just came in like 2 weeks ago, and then but it feels like it was a couple days ago, you know? And I already have the next set coming in. And it kind of hurts a bit when I open my mouth. I keep yawning, so I like... I can't stop yawning, and it like hurts a bit every time. Oh, come on. Come on, let me just finish the fight. Thank goodness. Scratch. It's such cheering, upbeat. It's like a childhood like feeling to the song, you know? Like a, what do you call it? Somewhat like a lullaby sort of feeling. It's just great. Now, I was playing, what did I say? I think I talked about I beat Space Shuttle 5 100% it the other day. And there's something else I played. Can't remember. But I was playing Monkey Ball, and instead of getting 9 continues, it said I unlocked unlimited continues. So I could very well beat Expert now. And I won't say it feels cheap. I think that's kind of perfect. The way it's done, it's like I've tried so long and so hard at it that I kind of, you know, I now have the means to tackle it, you know, even forcefully. I don't know why it took so long, that battle. I wasn't really paying attention. But I do kind of want to, I don't want to say I want to be the legit and I want to beat it in 8 continues, because I really like the game, but I'm not super fussed about this development, you know. As much as I like the game, I want to see what the second game has. And there's also like Monkey Ball Deluxe, and I'm considering playing the arcade game at some point to see if it has new music. I know it has different backgrounds and textures and such. At least dabbling with that, so I have other opportunities. Not to mention like the remake of Deluxe, which is like way easier. I could probably beat that if it's as easy as people say. I could always come back to this game and beat it as is. But I might do that today after I got my fill of Pokemon. I also have Outrun to play. Although I've kind of been feeling like Donkey Kong Country. I watched a couple videos the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get back to Donkey Kong Country. It's just downstairs. I might go play that on my own. Well, I guess we'll train up Pikachu. It's nice, like the anime, you hear tunes like this remixed. If you don't pay attention, you won't notice, but I think I've seen the anime so much so that, especially after a while, because there's so many episodes, you start to try to focus on the background. It's like, oh, they're remixing songs from the games. That's awesome. But yeah, I got very heavy into Pokemon at that time. I continued on, you know, I watched the anime up to Advanced Challenge, and then I kind of just fell off because a bit of burnout, honestly. That's what Advanced Challenge is like episode 350, so I've seen like the first season like 4 times. Like I've started up Pokemon, and then like I would get to a certain season and then I'd fall off, and I started again like a year or so later and I'd fall off. And that last time I was like, this is my last time, and I got up to Advanced Challenge before I was like, I think I'm good. Part of it's kind of I lose interest in, not only is the third season, Johto Journeys, it's the start of Johto. It's my least favorite season. It's just very boring for most of it. That's always kind of a hump to get over. But I lose interest in, kind of same goes for the manga, in stuff that covers games that I haven't played. So for the game side of things, I've played and beaten Gen 1, Gen 2, which was Blue, Gold, and then I've only ever gotten halfway through Ruby and Sapphire. I always stop at Gym 5 or around Gym 5. I've never even gotten to the city where Gym 6 is. I've never found it for one, which would be cool to get back to and actually experience the latter half of that game. So like whenever I'm like watching the anime and they start talking about characters that I don't really know, not really familiar with, it kind of loses me a bit, even though it doesn't really matter as much for the anime. The manga, kind of the same, but I love the manga so much that I've kind of just pushed through with it. Now for the games though, I stopped with Gen 4 because I thought that Diamond was pretty bad. I talked briefly about it. I've been saving it for now, I guess. But Diamond especially, I hear Platinum's marginally better to where it's quite playable, but Diamond and Pearl were such slogs of a game that it got me off of the series as a whole. This is a shame. I was not feeling it at all, and this was like late 2010s, and I kind of dropped the whole franchise honestly around that time. So like Gen 3 for the anime, Gen 4 for the games. And the manga I've read up to, I'm actually pretty diligent with that. It's probably because that's my favorite. I've read up to Gen 5, although with Gen 5, at least with the manga, like Gen 4, I played half of those games as well. I've gotten 4 gyms into that. Gen 3 and Gen 4 I'd played half of, so I was somewhat familiar with them. Gen 5 I haven't played at all. I didn't know anything about that. Plus, I don't think that particular arc is very good. Or very great, I guess. It's not that great. So that was kind of like the cracks for me. As well as Heart Gold Soul Silver was mixed. And Gen 4 was also mixed. So it was already kind of on a downturn for me. And then Black 2, White 2 at the time was not finished. It's finished now, but at the time it wasn't finished. And I didn't, like, I was, like, on the, I'll just wait, you know, I was on that mindset. So I never started XY. I think I picked up XY and I just wasn't in the mood for it, to start a whole new thing. But Black 2, White 2 are finished now, but I think I'm gonna, this time before I reread Adventures again, I'm gonna play up to that point so I at least know, like, what it's building off of. I think that'll be cool. Now I did say I was going to Verdant Forest after this. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll come back and fight Gary, I think. And I don't think we'll get to Brock. Maybe, we'll see. These encounter rates seem higher than usual. I generally find the counter rates in Gen 1 a bit too low, if anything. Same with Gen 2, but to a lesser extent. And then Gen 3 was a bit too high. Or no, Gen 3 is probably as close as good as I would like. It's like 1 or 2% too high for me. And then Gen 4 was just way too high. And then I hear Gen 5 is even worse, which is not not good news for me. I'm not someone who's ever like used repels either, which I think is part of my problem. I just never even bothered to try them out really. It's also like early game, you're kind of strapped for cash, and at some point you're swimming in cash. But at that point you're like flying everywhere, so you don't really see as much wild, what you call it? Wild battles, you know? I don't know if we've seen a level 7 Rattata and then paying attention. I don't even want to tank one attack because I don't think he can make it. I'm not gonna go heal though. I think I'll be okay once I start fighting these Kakunas and Metapods and stuff. I do have some stuff to talk about, but I've been building up Pokemon topics for so long that I'm not as strapped for discussion as I thought I would be. I was gonna say, isn't there something sitting right here? I don't know all the secret items, but I do remember that. Weird looking Metapod. It looks like it's got... looks like a human face, doesn't it? It's gonna take a while. I don't think I'm gonna catch this. I'd rather catch Caterpie. The thing with these wild ones is they only know Harden. From what I remember, they don't actually know Caterpie's moves. So let's go ahead and pull up my talking points. Now it's kind of weird because this is gonna be on my VODs that I post, but it's just part of the experience. I guess I could edit it down if I wanted to. I don't know. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, so here we have... Oops. I didn't do that. I don't think we talked about DS. We might have talked about the DS. think we did. Yeah, because it was already picked before I pulled it up. Yeah, we've talked about that. I'm gonna guess that we talked about it anyway. Oops, my bad. Okay, we got a PS2 ranking. So, this is favorite PS2 games. I didn't remember it being so small, but it's kind of, I guess that's all that I've put significant time into. Still weird, I feel like I'm missing one or two. You know what? I'm missing Earth Defense Force. At the least. It's because I don't own it physically. I didn't count it. It didn't come out in the US, but it did come out in Power Regions. And I emulated that, and I beat the whole thing. And unfortunately, I deleted the save. I shouldn't have done that. I don't think I would play the whole thing again, but I might have. No. I guess that's about all that I've put significant time into. I think I'm not gonna question it. Last is Ape Escape 2001. The game's fine, but that's pretty much all it is. It's kind of boring, honestly. Burnout's next. I like Burnout, but it's very, very simple, and it's kind of hard to see. I've been playing it lately. I want to play it some more because it's so like pixelated and such. How? Okay, I think I'm gonna catch this guy because he evolved at level 7. And it's kind of low budget type of feel to it. It's a fun game, but nothing crazy. GTA 3, I put a decent amount of time in back when I bought it. I kind of just put it down because I guess the subject matter, I thought it was a bit much for me. But it was fun, like the open world is just a lot of fun. Ape Escape Pumpkin Prime, I haven't beaten the one playthrough that I started yet, but it's fun. If you touch the feeder on top of its head, feeler, it will release a horrible stink to protect itself. Interesting. And that should be Pokemon number 7. Officially out of the main crew. I think I'm gonna use Caterpie. So I'm gonna trade him out for Nidoran Male next time I go to the Pokemon Center, if I remember. Please take this at least. Okay, nice. But I'm gonna get back to that game soon. Honestly, once I finish up Expert on 2001, that pretty much opens the door for bouncing back to Pumpkin Prime in between Ape Escape 3 and I think there's some, you know, Ape Escape 3 and whenever I play On the Loose and those other side games. Oh, dude's happy. Katamari Damacy, we just beat that yesterday. That's a beautiful game, but it is kind of one note, like I've said before. Jack and Dexter, I'm not sure if I'd put that over Katamari now that I've finished Katamari. But that's a great game. Any sort of collectathon or 3D platformer fan should play that at some point in their lives, I think. It's not perfect. The combat is very rough. There could be more enemies, I'd say. I won't say it has a low budget hide, but it just need polish, you know? It's kind of like Heroes, Sonic Heroes in a lot of ways. Like, it's great, the core of it is pretty fantastic, but the edges are a bit pointy. Resident Evil Outbreak, we played this, was it earlier this year or last year? I don't remember when I started streaming, but I played this with a friend, as well as solo, as well as online, and we have to get back to that game actually pretty soon, I'd say. Because I still wanted to play randoms on those last 3 missions. I played it so much, so quickly that I was kind of full, and I didn't feel like hopping right in right away. Okami, I'm not sure I'd put that over Outbreak. I guess at the point I was making this. Okami I've only played a bit of, but the bit that I have played was excellent, and I could tell that would be an amazing game. I would love that game. A friend of mine recommended me to get that game. I mean, I had already heard about it playing, but she wanted me to play it, and I was loving it. I don't remember why I put it down. I think I was just busy at the time. But it was pretty great. Ratchet & Clank 2, that game is incredible. This top row, pretty incredible games. Ratchet & Clank 2, it's one of those stereotypical sequels, you know, trim the quote-unquote, trim the fat, stick to the guns, you know, literally, for better and for worse. But it's just so fun. It created this whole new, like, jump and dodge, shoot, just over and over again sort of gameplay, which was incredible. It was definitely, I guess I'll talk about Ratchet & Clank, even though that's my number one. In tandem, it was definitely less well-rounded as the first game was in pretty much every aspect, like story, levels, and their variety in their design. There's less platforming. It's kind of more. It's stronger in the aspect it focuses on, but it's less aspects that it's focusing on, if that makes sense. Ever found a Pikachu here? Yeah, it's because I have the only one. Should be an item back here. Yeah. Nice. But that's kind of why Ratchet & Clank's there. It's just so well-rounded, amazing story. It feels like an adventure. It's very meticulous in this game, but it's very the first Sonic the Hedgehog where people dunk on it for the wrong reasons. It's not going for what the later games go for. The later games are going for their own style. This game is a lot more meticulous and slow-paced, and it does well with that. It's not like the most groundbreaking game I've ever played, but it's a great experience. The only reason Ape Escape is below is because both Ape Escape 2 and 3 I have major, like, reservations about. It's not that I hate those games, but there's like things that they do that are just not for me. I think is there are weaker experiences for that. Weaker than their predecessors for those reasons. Now, probably crazy to most Ape Escape fans, I have 3 below 2. I do think 3 has stronger theming, story, identity, things to do. But, you know, 3's wonky balancing with the morphs and sort of retread in areas, weak final boss, all these things. While the game is still incredible, I think I have such reverence for 2's lightning fast gameplay that is so addicting that it's one of those things where I'm not the type of person who's like gameplay above all, you know. But in this instance, it does trump it for me. I think 2 honestly can be kind of a slog to play in the late game. It's a very desaturated game that retreads a lot of the first, but just in a lesser extent, in my opinion. But it's just so fun. It's the Ape Escape gameplay refined to me, which is why I love it so much. It's not all bad, you know. Obviously the soundtrack's better in 3, but 2 has some really great tunes, and I like that identity it did go with, you know. I think it's strong in that way, even though I prefer the other. I think it's very strong on what it attempted. Viridian Forest is a great tune, by the way. It's so great, like, this soundtrack, like, when they have something they need to do, they, you know, they understand the assignment, they go for it. Like this and Lavender Town are great spooky songs. Alright, I got caught up in the music for a second. Yeah, I guess there's no Weedles here, just Caterpies. So we're just gonna get our XP, go through it, go back and save, fight Gary, and then go on to Brock, I think. I think I should probably start, well, maybe not probably, but I'll probably start promoting my streams now, even though I still think they're very amateurish and kind of ugly. I think they're sufficient at this point. Maybe my mic's a bit much in terms of audio. I still gotta do better at that, but he's pretty happy. Come on, I wanna fight. What's the next? We're going through my consoles very slowly. Consoles that I've played. Yeah, so did I never do the DS? Did I not do that? Because I don't know why I have so many DS. I'm missing some charts. Here's Mario. This is massive, so this is gonna take a minute. How do I... I need to start doing top down, I think. Let me crop this real quick. Actually, I'm not gonna crop it. I'm just gonna put it at the top of the screen. I believe Scratch is stronger than Tackle. We might have to check the power. I've been playing so much Silver and Googling stuff that I just never knew. That I feel a bit more prepared when it comes to Pokemon mechanics than I ever was. I didn't want to put it over here because my alert's over here, but I doubt anything's going to happen this stream at this point. Oh, did he Santa attack me? I wasn't really watching. I guess we're on Pikachu. Yeah, this is every Mario game that I've played. Let me look real quick. Oh yeah, you can definitely see this. I can shrink this some more. On my screen, the preview is very small already. I want to be able to make sure you can actually see it, but I don't want it to take up most of my screen. Yeah, at the bottom we got World Tour. It's not a great game. I've only put a bit of time in that. I rented it a few times. The 3DS Mario Parties are not very good. I also played like Star Rush, but I didn't play as much as World Tour. And it kind of extended to the Switch ones, unfortunately. Mario Cement Factory, the modern version from Gallery 4. It's a little too slippery, the animation. Some of those modern versions on Game & Watch Gallery, I won't say it ruined the game, but it makes it a lot less precise, and that's one of them. Mario Party 9 is pretty bad. Why they decided to put you all in the car, I know they were probably just out of ideas, but it just did not work out. Oddly, one of the few Mario Parties I actually put a decent amount of time into, but it wasn't very good. Mario Cement Factory Classic, that's a decent little Game & Watch game. Not one of my favorites, but it's good. The thing with that is, like, it's pretty easy. It never gets unreasonably hard. So you're kind of just sitting there doing the same thing after a while. It's kind of the eternal conundrum of those Game & Watch games. Ultra Smash, pretty poor. But it's like the only Mario Tennis game, well, one or two, I put time into. I played that with my sister, but it wasn't very good. It was just devoid of content was the problem. There was almost nothing to do. Tennis Open was okay. I played the demo and I rented it a few times. There's a cool like extra modes, but the rest of it was fine. Mario Party 10 is like marginally better than 9. It's still not great. It's the same setup, but the Bowser mode was really fun, even if it was very unbalanced. Original Mario Bros. That's a neat game. I played that recently. Let's go straight out the Pokemon. Mario and Sonic. I believe that's 2012 Olympic Games. The 3DS version I rented a few times, and it was pretty nice. The story was really good. Some of the mini games were fun, but most of them are just kind of whatever. Mario Bros. 2, for a long time I said that was my least favorite Mario game, and that I hated it. I don't hate it, but I really don't like it. I would have easily put that at the bottom if not for all these other side games. I put like every Mario game that I played on here. I just don't like it at all. It was such a letdown. I waited years for a proper sequel to New Super Mario Bros. Because that's, spoiler alert, that's pretty high on the list, I'll say. And I heard it was coming out. There was commercials for it. It looked. I was just excited because Wii was a letdown for me. I think I came to terms even as younger that Wii wasn't a full-on sequel. It was just more so a console version of the original. So like for them to actually make a full-on dedicated sequel, I was excited for it. But the problem was it was way too easy. The gimmick is fine, but there's not much there. And I beat that game in like less than 2 days after I got it. I remember like I was upset and I was telling my family that I beat it, and I was like, hey, I did not like the game at all. My mom's like, there's no way you beat it. Because when you're like younger, you're only getting like, if you're lucky, you'll get 2 games a year, and that's your birthday and Christmas. Yeah. That was like my Christmas or my birthday game. So that was like my game for like months, like half a year, right? That was all I had. And I didn't put away Mankey, did I? Where's Mankey at? Is Mankey up to level 6? I'm about to check that. Mind you, the original game's pretty tough. I walked through that thing and I was so upset because it was way too easy. And I just didn't like it at all. I need to level him up for Brock. But it's like an okay battle. It's just disappointing, honestly. My most disappointing game ever, I think. Mario Clash, I think that is. I've been playing that lately. No, that's Mario Bros. What do they call that? What is it called? Like Deluxe or something? I actually can't see it from here. But it's the remake on GBA that they put in like almost every Mario game on GBA. They put that Mario Bros. Remake in. And I remember it being a lot of fun. I put some good amount of time in it. I don't really remember it super well off the top of my head, but it's good. But it's only so high I could put it, you know. Super Mario Land, I beat that like a month or 2 ago. It's neat. I don't have much to say about it, honestly. Like it's a nice little game, but there ain't a lot of meat on the bones, you know. Next is, I believe that's Mario Clash. I've been playing on the Virtual Boy lately. That's very fun. It's kind of evolution of Mario Bros. It's fun, yeah, but I'm not super far into it. But there's some cool style to it in the tech. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Yeah, I kind of talked about this one when I talked about 2. There's a lot of people who are like, I remember when New Super Mario Bros. Used to be good on the Wii. Dog, that game is not that good. It's okay. It's way too easy again. And usually people who like that game didn't have the original game. I like consistently, that's every time I hear someone put that game high, it's they didn't have the original. It's like no wonder. I'm gonna keep making because he needs to be leveled up. The multiplayer's chaotic. It's kind of hostile, honestly. The new power-ups are kind of just OP. The propeller's fun. The penguin's way too... Like, if they're gonna put... The ice flower's really cool. But if you're gonna put the ice flower in, don't make the penguin suit be able to do what the ice flower can do. It just completely overshadows it. Like, you could still have the penguin suit be really good without putting in the ice flower, you know? Okay, I don't know when he learns a fighting move. I believe the Nidoran learns like low kick at 11 or something like that. So we'll see. Mario and Luigi Dream Team, that's a little high. I don't really care for that game. Alpha Dream was already on a downturn, unfortunately. The game, like, tries very hard to be funny. It's not funny. The tutorials are invasive. The bosses are a lot of fun. The gameplay is a lot of fun, though. The story's not very good either. It's a shame, but the 2D parts are fine. Mario Bros. 2, that's a classic. I haven't beat it yet. I'm playing that game currently. But I don't have much to say about it. Some good music. I like the gameplay. But I haven't beat it yet. Now, we'll do this and then we'll switch over to the other side. Mario Party DS, that's a classic. I'd say everything up from here is like really good. Really fun, great multiplayer. Oh, please take this. Come on. Dang, I keep overestimating Mickey. There's some good mini games in here. I like the story; it's very unique, and the theming. It's just not like incredible. It's got like a weird sort of DS low budget feel to it. It's very strange, but it feels like a licensed game at times. I don't know why, but it does. Okay. I should put out Nidoran. I think I need to level him up, or level her up. Can't gym out if you're a Pokemon trainer. Oh, you can't gym out a fight. I thought he meant like you can't gym out the music. Because I'm jamming it. Mario Super Picross, I've been playing that on and off the past like year. It's good to chill out with. Only thing is, it's on Nintendo, so you gotta like, I gotta pay to play it, which sucks. But whenever I've been so active, I make sure to play some of that. It's a fun game, even though at the point that I'm at, it's no longer getting harder, and it's just kind of meandering, giving me puzzles. I haven't really done anything else with it, but it's chill. It's got some nice music too. Super Mario 3D Land, that game gets a bad rap. It's fun. I mean, I played it a couple times through since it released. It's just a neat game. Some of the best 3D implementation. Like, you actually need it to beat some of the levels. A shame they stopped doing that pretty early on in the system's lifespan. This is exactly why I have these charts for when I'm doing these arduous battles. Let's see. Super Mario Bros. That's a classic. Play that game so many times. It's just good. It's a good game just to run through. So thankful for all it did for not only creating platformers, but for the series, Mario series as well. That's a game you can pick up whenever and play. Super Paper Mario, that's a really good game. I haven't beat it, but I put quite a bit of time in it, renting it back in the day. There we go. How many Metapods does he have? Oh, he's got a Caterpie. What did I do? Nidoran. He's close. Or she's close. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I wasn't sure to put Luigi on here, but it is Mario Bros. He's not considered to have his own series. Even though Luigi's Mansion is kind of its own sub-series. But I'm more comfortable considering him and Mario as one thing, especially when Mario and Luigi's a thing, versus like Yoshi or DK. But that's a great game. People crap on that game. I haven't played the original Luigi's Mansion, so maybe that's just astronomically better, like people say. But from what I've played, I really like Dark Moon. It's got some great... I think I'm gonna stick with Nidoran. It's got some great combat, very satisfying combat. It was fun. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun playing through that, and I think I rented it. I don't think I bought it. We're gonna put it over here for the last bit, last 3 rows. Mario Galaxy 2. I haven't put a ton of time in Galaxy 2. I've talked about it before, and I prefer Galaxy 1. Better theming, stories. You actually go to the galaxies. It's not like level based like Galaxy 2. The hub world's way better, etc., etc. I enjoyed what I played a bit, but it's been so long. I won't have a definitive opinion on it till I get back to it one day. Super Mario Kart, that's a ton of fun. I might have to stop talking soon. I might have to get off soon. My throat's not doing well. People, especially nowadays, give that game such a hard rap. That's a prime example of people, in my opinion, just not giving older games a proper chance. Mario Kart became kind of standardized. From what it sounds like, starting in Double Dash. I haven't played Double Dash, but especially so in 7 and 8. It's very... It's not bad, but it's like... streamlined, I guess. A lot of stuff. And when people go back to older Mario Karts, they just say it's bad. They don't actually want to learn or, play something that plays unique to itself. But I stopped, I sat down, read the manual, see how some of the unique mechanics that are unique to that game specifically and not in later Mario Karts, how they work and how you have a power slide, you don't have a drift, and learning how that worked mechanically. And I get a lot of fun out of it. It's very fun once you get the hang of it. Super Sluggers, that was another one I rented all the time back in the day. Just an incredible Mario sports game. That was like that game, and later on we'll talk about Strikers. But those games really illuminated Mario sports styles for me. Like, oh, this is what people are talking about. This is gold. It's just so much fun, like crazy amounts of fun. Mario Kart 7, that's a great game. People really... it's got a bad rap nowadays because Mario Kart 8 is pretty much Mario Kart 7, but in HD. which kind of lessens both of those games for me because they're so similar. And Mario Kart 7 at the time was such a triumph, I'd say, because it felt so, for lack of a better term, new. Also the first evolution, here we go. Uh-oh. I wonder what it's gonna be. This Metapod sprite's like really creeping me out. I think I prefer the other, like when it's flipped around you see the back. I think I prefer that angle. But yeah, that's Pokemon 8. No Beedrill today. I'm gonna train up this guy to 11. See if I get a fighting move. If not, I'm gonna go back to training Mankey. But seven's got good, good multiplayer. Some weird people in the roster though. The cart customization was great. That was incredible. That's probably the best thing we got out of the game. Some great tracks. Really nice. I like the marathon tracks. That was incredible. The game feels like the 3DS generation, if that makes any sense, in the best way possible. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely like a must-buy for the system. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. That's the only one I've beaten. It's a great game. It's just so fun. It's got some annoying parts. But minigame wise, I'd say it's probably better on an actual console. I emulated that on touchscreen on the phone. The art style's unique. It's funny. It's not the balancing. I can't remember. There's something else there's something like very strange about the game. It didn't quite hit. I can't remember off the top of my head. What do we got down here? I could have went that way. I didn't have to go up. Yeah, it's a fun game. Very solid. Mario Kart DS, that's incredible. One of the best multiplayer Mario Karts, like the second best in my eyes. I haven't played much of the Mission Mode. I didn't really notice that growing up. That's kind of the go-to people talk about. Yeah, the just DS download play for everyone. You could have I think up to 12 people. Incredible, man. Incredible. It's like the only analogy I can use is the viruses where everyone inside of a multiplayer match gets affected if one person has a virus. It's like that, but a good thing. Everyone got sick. But in this case, it's social gatherings and the one person with Mario Kart DS sharing it with everyone else. Just great. And yeah, I don't have much to say about it. The retro tracks were great. I don't remember a lot of the new tracks though. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, that's probably a little high. Looking at this. That's a great game. I caught a Pidgey, right? Yeah. It's kind of like WarioWare, where the game keeps repeating in certain aspects, but it does it really well. Or Vampire Survivors, where you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. It repurposes its game in a refreshing way, I'd say. it does it very well. It's a small game, but it makes a lot with what it has. Okay, let's see if he got anything. No, he didn't. Okay, so maybe I'm tempted to wait for level 12. I don't know. Dun, dun. I don't know what he said. Not gonna do this. That's great. Another Wii U's got so many gems on it, and that's one of them. Really great companion piece to 3D World. Galaxy probably seems sacrilege to put it so low down, relatively low down. It's incredible. My problem with Galaxy is kind of just a personal preference thing. I remember people used to say back in the day, I miss 3D sandbox Mario with Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. And I'd be like, like, boss. Galaxy's not like a sandbox Mario to me. They cut back a lot of his moves. There's like a spectrum of 3D Mario where you get the games with 3D in their title, which are on a 3D plane, but they play like a 2D game. You just have to get to the end of the level. A lot of platforming is pretty much 2.5D. I think we'll stick with Nidoran. I want to see level 12 and I think I'm gonna switch over or go heal up Mankey so I can train him. I don't know what level these Nidorans evolve off the top of my head. I think it's like level 16. I don't know if we'll get that high. But that's not like a diss against the game. It's closer to the 3D sort of gameplay, and I much prefer Sandbox Mario. Much prefer. And you know, obviously, like Galaxy is a beautiful game. It's got wonderful music and visuals. Some of the mechanics kind of don't always work like they should, and that could be a little frustrating, as well as the Wiimote. Whenever you have Wiimote, that is Wiimote actions that are governed by, there we go, double kick at level 12, good. Wiimote actions that are governed by shaking their Wiimote, you have a lot of misinputs. But it's great. I mean, I love it. It's just not my favorite. Mario Kart 8, like I said, it's a game that's so like pure and true and solid. Those are adjectives I would attribute. It's like the color white, or like the vanilla flavor. Like that's good, and I could have it at any time, but to most people, or at least to myself, that's not my favorite. It's just a constant that is great and is always solid, but to me it's just not really for me all the time. I felt like this since the game came out, and I thought it was solid, but people saying like this is the greatest Mario Kart of all time, I feel like they got kind of swept up. I don't know why I'm talking about perception so much. I don't really care that much, honestly. It's a good Mario Kart. It's very good. Battle mode sucks, unfortunately. DLC was pretty neat. It's a shame they dragged that game to the mud for over a decade. Unfortunate. Mario Kart Wii, I don't actually know if I prefer Mario Kart Wii. For a while there, I was saying that I did just to smite hate, honestly. A Wii, I actually had a very similar experience with, because a lot of people my age that grew up with Wii touted that as the best. There was a lot, I wouldn't say I had an animosity or had a chip on my shoulder when I started experiencing the Wii in general. But there was a lot of like hype and expectation to live up for those games, and at first I just didn't really see it with any of the titles, but over time I started to appreciate the games more and more, especially when you could see how bad it could get with a lot of the Switch games, unfortunately. Or even the Wii U and 3DS had some stinkers like I talked about. It was appreciative to see how games were that solid that generation. And Mario Kart Wii is one of them. I think over time I appreciate the uniqueness of the older Mario Karts compared to the tried and true like simplistic consistency of like 7 and 8. Even though it's good in its context and it's really good, I don't want that all the time. That's kind of why Wii's over it. Wii also has some amazing tracks, though, I will say. So we're gonna heal up, and we'll train up Mankey, and then I think I'm gonna fight Gary while I'm down here. Next time I go to Viridian Forest, I'll go all the way to Pewter, and then I might just end there. I don't know if I'll fight Brock. I don't know how long I've been going. And then Mario Kart 64, the best multiplayer out of any Mario Kart I've put time into. It's not even close, honestly. Some great original tracks too. It's just a good time. Oh, so we'll put Nidoran down here, and then we'll train up Mankey and see what he's got. We'll go fight Gary. If he's still there, I don't know what despawns him, you know? Maybe it's Rival Battle 3 does it. I can see that being the case. I think most of those Pokemon are like level 11, that's why I didn't want to. Pokemon getting stronger, yes. Let's see what we can do. I'll hide this for a second, because this is... Did he have 2 Pokemon? I didn't look. At least mine hit. Oof. No, I was hoping I could tank 1. You're killing me, Smalls. I can't send out Metapod. Spin out the Squirrel. I'm gonna get some XP for him. Come on. Okay. You get 1 tackle in? No. Jeez, these sand attacks. need to switch out. Yeah, sure. Jeez. I think we got him. Nice. He wasn't as strong as I thought. Okay, dude. Okay. We got him. Okay, where are we at? We're gonna start this. Mario Strikers Charge, again, that's pretty incredible sports game. I had a lot of fun. I need to play that with my cousin a lot. Just great and incredible, and really cool, unique style to it. Very satisfying feedback in gameplay. It's so fun. Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I haven't beat that, but I did put quite a bit of time into it, and it's incredible. It's so fun, man. It's great. It probably shouldn't be that high compared to Superstar Saga since I haven't beat it, but proportionally, my enjoyment of it with what I played was greater than that. I look forward to getting back to that someday. 3D World, like I was saying, I think I just prefer, like, you go all or nothing for those 3D type games. The weird middle ground in Galaxy is not for me. And 3D World is just incredible. It's so fun. They really knocked it out of the park with the theming and the levels. It's just so fun. The power-ups are really fun. Even though I'm not a huge Cat Mario fan, functionally it's a lot of fun. I like the double cherry. Very pretty game too. Super Mario RPG is incredible. The game has so much personality. I really like the original stuff. It's like a Mario, game with traditional RPG world. The mini games are really fun too. The world feels very lively, even though it's very old school and kind of dank. They do a good job with it, just traversing. I was playing it recently. I really need to get back to it before I forget it again. I don't want to lose my progress, so I probably will somewhat recently. I might, in between DKC. Nice. Yeah, it's just an incredible game. Some great music. It's very foundational, that game, because of its cultural impact and like me starting on the internet. That game. What's his face? This one guy, he made animation for like Raw's Forest, you know. But it was everywhere for me those first few years on the internet. So it means a lot to me. Super Mario 64 DS. That's the version I put the most time into. Incredible multiplayer. The mini games are cool. I really like they added the new characters. Sorry, there's something in my eye. In their roles, I think that's very, very cool. Game looks great too. It's a weird thing. I think I like only played this version growing up, but I have such memories playing 64 original for whatever reason. It's possible that someone I knew had it and we played it off of them. but my experience with 64 original is actually pretty recent. It's possible somebody had it on their Wii or something like that. Mario Party, the first one, that's a legendary game, honestly. The music is so hypnotic and beautiful. The game just, it hits. I still have to play the second one, but now that family's like we don't really live under the same house anymore, it's gonna be a lot different playing games like that, you know, just solo. And then New Super Mario Bros. That's my favorite Mario game. I won't say for all time, because there's still games I need to play. I doubt any of the newer games are gonna supplant it, but you know, who knows. This game is just, it's such a solid experience, and it really tips it over the edge of the mini games and the multiplayer. Some of my favorite stuff ever, like in video games, period. And then the main game's also really fun, really great, pretty challenging. I have like 100% in it. I really love that game. It's my favorite Mario game for sure. But that's it for Mario. I thought I had more charts and tier list, but all I see is the DS one, which I'm pretty sure I talked about last time. I need to check it real quick. Maybe I didn't talk about it. I could talk about it briefly, but we're about to get off this, so maybe next time. And then it looks like there was another chart I just forgot to send over. Almost out of here. This list under last month. So maybe I did talk about it. I'll have to go back and watch that stream and make sure. But for now, I talked about a couple extensively, so that should be enough. It did help that grinding time went by pretty quick. Bump, bump. Yeah, I probably talked about him. I don't know, I don't think I talked about the Wii, no. I might have talked about SNES games. I'll go back and watch that VOD. If it's still up, I can still find it, and I'll put these aside for next time. But that Mario one was the last one I made, but I was working on a 361. I think that's pretty much all the consoles that I've played significant amounts for. Oh, Wii U I could do. Oh, nice. I probably took it, dude. What is that phrase that the kids used to say when you drop something? Oh, maybe it's just finders keepers, you know? Yeah. I believe Scratch ups your crit chance. I'm tempted to just fight Brock right now. Although he does have one or two trainers in front of him. I don't think there's anything in this grass for me. I don't think Gus is flying type yet. Yeah. I think it becomes flying type in Gen 2. That's cool, it's gray. Is Peter gray? No. I think he's like doing a rappel on his flowers or something. No, Gray City, yeah. I don't know, Peter's not a color I hear brought up often. I was hoping he wouldn't take me if I just talked to him. It was a good tune. Ryan was getting good. 50, I'll pay 50. Make that deal, I'll make that deal. Aerodactyl. No. Boot tops. Moonstone. Talk to me, dude. Fairies came from the moon. Not much to do here. Can't go up there yet. Bow bow. Magikarp. Oh, we'll get out the way. Might as well get Pokeballs. Did I go in this house? I think I do, I don't remember what they said. Okay, I think I went to all the houses. True. Wait, did he fall asleep? Ah. That's funny. Scram! Team Rocket, huh? We want a fighting fit. Okay, I think I'll fight Brock and then I'll be done. I might do Monkey Ball off stream because I can't talk much anymore. But I'll be sure to play it on stream though. don't think I'll beat it tonight, but I may. Who knows? Yeah, have you heard the theory this guy is like your dad? He's doing best to help you, you know, because he was a deadbeat. He's trying to make amends. Crazy that like very first gym, you can't do much with your starter in this one. He's literally like 4 steps up. I don't know what he's on about. Actually, I think he jokes about that once I beat him. Oh, sorry. What do you think Diglett scratches? You think he has like claws under there? This was pretty quick. I did what, like 2 or 3 string shots? Now pecs are not gonna do much, but Gus should be fine. And true. We'll just keep what we got. Ooh. What is fighting against ground? What does that do? Okay, I think it's just normal. Very nice, Mickey. Come back. Yeah. Yep. I probably need Pidgey. Oh, do I need Pidgey? Are we okay without Pidgey? Doom. This is such a great tune. It's so like invigorating, you know. I didn't think he would go for that. Maybe I do need Pidgey. Usually when you use a status move, then they use a status move. And then when you attack, then they attack. That seems to track, you know, sometimes. Let's go, Mickey. I'll just stay with Maggie. I'm not too fussed about the XP at the moment. I've been going 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I think I need to set up that YouTube stream. Just because recording the video is probably going to take up a ton of... these screeches are terrible, man. It's going to take up a ton of space. Okay, nice. Only took 2 hits. Good job, Mickey. He made up for everything. I took you for granted, me to Mickey. What do we got? 5? Okay. You seriously go visit the gym early and test your abilities. Pokemon breeder. A lot of people say like, well, how did they find out about... I mean, it's still kind of weird. The timeline thing, I've been thinking about it and it just doesn't check out in any sense. How did they first find out about, like, Pokemon eggs and... I can't say breeding. Yeah, Pokemon eggs and stuff in Gen 2, where they already have Pokemon breeders, excuse me. But, like the anime breeder as in like a groomer, like a dog, a groomer or breeder, they're kind of used interchangeably, but they just like pamper the animals and like do their hair and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty easy, all things considered. I probably didn't have to grind as much as I did, but it's fine. It pays off in later, you know. But we'll save after we heal up, and then next time I will tackle Mount Moon. It'll probably... I don't think we'll get all the way down to Cerulean. Mount Moon's pretty long. I don't know if we'll get to Misty, but we'll see. This is about as far as I am in my Pokemon Red. I haven't played it in a good minute. Nor have I have Silver. I guess I was getting my fill before starting this. We'll go ahead and say we're at 8. That matches my count on stream. Yeah, but I don't know, I think I'm too tired to continue streaming. I'll play Super Monkey Ball off stream, I think, and then I'll make sure to stream it another time. I won't just bum rush it with the one that continues to the end, but I may. I'll think about it. But yeah, that was a good time. starting yet another game, but I feel like I did beat Katamari. I probably beat some other games recently. I guess I could check, right? Let's see what I've beaten lately. Oh, let me check audio real quick. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. It's cutting out a lot, but I think that's on my end. Because last time I booted up on my phone, it was fine. Yeah, but that's good. Hopefully it's fine. I'm gonna check my channel. See what we have been playing lately. I did beat Castlevania 3 Japanese. I need to get back to the English version and beat the level I'm stuck on. I'm on the second to last level. So. Oh, we did start Klonoa. I wouldn't mind playing that. Maybe I take a short break and then... I don't know, I'm very tired. I don't know, just tired. I did finish Spatial 5 as well. And Haunted Castle. So it's not like I have a ton of games going. I just have Monkey Ball. I would feel okay getting back to Resident Evil as well, since I have a better I do have a better what do you call it, dude? Capture card now that can, the colors aren't really far off. That was really bugging me. I didn't want to stream it. I wouldn't mind getting back to that, as well as Outbreak. I should really get back to that. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here. Mega Man 2. Mega Man, I'm also gonna play soccer game, I think. So, but I'll talk about it another time. I'll see you guys later. Have a good morning, a good night, and good bye.